He can see the race leader.
I'm pushing as much as I can.
Verstappen using all of the road all the way to the end without a massive fight. Norris chasing Verstappen all the way to the checkered flag. Max Verstappen has not been under this sort of pressure for a very, very long time. This is going to be absolutely fascinating.
As the gap is less than 5 seconds, we really can't support any track limits, so focus on that, mate.
There's the gap visually. Verstappen to Norris. He can see the race leader. The laps are ticking down.
Okay, Lando, opportunity is still the mid-corner of turn 15, so just give up a little bit of entry to help.
Stand by for a grandstand finish at this famous Formula One venue. Lando Norris has the advantage.
Can he let me by? Even more stupid.
Verstappen has known about this for a while. There's nothing he can do. Norris is catching him.
And Lando happy to push turn 9 a little bit more.
I'm pushing as much as I can. Thank you.
That's the sound of Formula One's most recent winner, trying to claim the biggest trophy. And there's enough time for Lando to go back to back as a Grand Prix winner, to wait all of that time, 110 races, to win one. He could be looking at 2 in a row.
The main losses to Lando, turn 2, turn 6.
Yeah, my tyres don't work, mate.
Just information, Max, that's all.
Yeah, same for me.
Very short and to the point under his engineer there, GP.
Verstappen is complaining about it.
I see. Okay. I'm pushing, mate.
Loving Lando on the radio in recent times. He's pushing, he's giving it everything. Those in the crowd are roaring every time these two go past. And we've seen some great Grand Prix so far this year, but we haven't really seen a battle like this all the way to the end. Lando Norris, he told us he was pushing DC, and we saw that he's absolutely wringing the neck of that car.
I'm so sorry for the sound effects, but that's within not even 3/4 of a kilometre. He's been right over the edge of the rear tyre twice.
Suggest strat 12, strat 12.
Yeah, I'm losing too much grip. Not a lot I can do.
That's what it takes to win a Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is not going to hand you victory, and his tyres might not be in the best shape, but this is a multiple world champion who has won for fun in recent times in Formula One. We're getting another grandstand finish, 5 to go. Verstappen, one wide moment, one lock-up away from seeing victory slip through his fingers.
5 laps remaining, 5 laps.
Norris is full beat. He's over track limits a few times as well, I'm sure of it. He is giving it full send. And Verstappen's just keeping him at bay now. There's a bit of dirty air coming into play at this range. Norris needs to find another little bit to punch through that.
Lando Norris gathering it all in, trying to find the most efficient route to the back of the great Max Verstappen.
Battery is almost empty.
If we want to top up the battery, it'll be mode 7, Max. But you will clip more in mode 7.
And it's 1.8 seconds between first and second. We'll go over the line and we'll begin lap 60 next.
Lando, his battery's almost empty. Use some of yours.
Max Verstappen having to ask questions of his team because he's being asked questions by this driver.
Verstappen has managed to find a little bit more. Gap's as low as it's been though, 1.4 seconds, still Norris sliding on the rear end.
These guys are full concentration. They know one mistake is going to turn this Grand Prix.
My goodness me, it is fine margins after all of this racing. All the way to the end without a massive fight. 1.3 seconds the gap. We've seen on board with the driver from the West Country in the UK how much he's using of the track. Risk versus reward for Grand Prix victory. It's why we love this sport so much. One error decides it. Will there be an error? They're such high quality drivers.
The gap is 1.2. 2 laps remaining.
Can he get within the 1 second window before we get to the last lap? Verstappen using all of the road, and still Norris uses everything he's got underneath him. Can Norris get inside DRS? Look at the gap. He's so close to being able to do it.
How many laps to go?
1.
We're on to the final lap, the final 3 miles of racing here at Imola, and there's 9/10 of a second between the leader and second place.
Go.
Okay, final lap gap is 1.1. Does not have DRS.
Formula One's most recent winner is Lando Norris. The dominant driver of recent times is Max Verstappen. Norris is going to chase him all the way home, but he's lost his last great chance to pass.
This is so close between Norris now just weaving, trying to get in the mirrors, distract Max. Easier said than done, but you've just got to keep putting on the pressure even when it seems like it's impossible.
This one-time contender, now Grand Prix winner, trying to force the error from Max Verstappen. They're getting closer to home. Norris chasing Verstappen all the way to the checkered flag.
Right, the next big stop is the tricky one. Verstappen is going to have to go slightly cautious.
Verstappen is nearly there. He's nearly home. Lando Norris has chased him all the way to the flag. But Max Verstappen will take back the top step. Max Verstappen wins in Imola. What a finish from those two across the line. It's new opposition for Verstappen, but the same result. The Dutch driver does it again, and he beats Lando Norris by 7/10 of a second.
Right. Had to work for that. Woo! Oh, anyway, we did a great race, considering how the weekend started, you know. But I had to work hard for that.
Unlucky. Almost. We just lost too much in the beginning. But another amazing weekend. Well done, everyone. A lot of points, another trophy. Let's keep it up.
Max Verstappen wins from pole. That tells you nothing about what we just saw. Well, once it was a massive margin across the line. Now it's under a second. Norris asked the question. Verstappen found the answer. Formula One at its finest.
Those last 10 laps, I was really trying to survive with the tyres, and then suddenly Lando really picked up pace. Yeah, I could see him, of course, catch up. I was not sure if I could keep him behind, but I was just trying to do the best I could, pushing as hard as I could with the grip that I had. And yeah, luckily it was just enough laps.
I was just praying for one more lap. I was just praying for someone to say one more lap, 7/10, like one more lap, at least he would have had to defend into turn 1, and maybe something could have come from that, but one lap too late. It's a shame, but it is what it is, and we just struggled too much in the beginning of the race.
Lando Norris, is he brave immediately? Is it great again for Lando Norris?
We're going to have a big shot.
Oh, they make contact. The leading contenders for the World Championship come together at turn 3.
Oh my God.
What just happened? You've got a McLaren in the mix there of Lando Norris. He's the driver in second place, 6.8 seconds away. Everyone on that hard tyre, Verstappen, Norris, Piastri and Hamilton struggling with that hard tyre and sliding around, as off the road goes Lando Norris, and that will extend that 7-second gap.
Lando will box this lap, please. Box this lap.
Confirm.
They are struggling on these hard tyres.
Tyres are man.
Understood.
Told you, they are really struggling on these tyres.
So box and pit confirm, Max. Box, pit confirm. Caution on the white line at pit lane entry, please, Max. A couple of cars have had issues with that.
And Red Bull can wait no longer. They're calling Verstappen in.
Yeah, the message was loud and clear.
Box now, box now.
Norris pits as well. They're going toe-to-toe. Verstappen sweeps in. Norris sweeps in just behind. Lando's got a set of mediums.
Hold on, was that slow? Was that slow? Sorry, Charlie and Kelly across. Was that a slow stop?
They waited for the release, took no chances, so that will definitely have played to the advantage of McLaren.
Okay, strap 10, please, Max. Strap 10 and white line on the exit.
Oh my God.
All right, it's fine. White line on the exit.
And it was new tyres on the McLaren, used tyres on the Red Bull as well. So that's the advantage that McLaren were telling Lando Norris in the first stint, saying stay with him. This race is going to be long and it could yet come towards you. Yeah, left rear, very slow coming off. And then, because it was slow, he then had to wait for Norris as well once the left rear was attached. they've had the helping hand of a slow stop.
He's
from Red
gone
Bull.
wide.
Oh, he did lock up. Did he make the corner? Oh my word. Pushing on the outlap there. And that is where Formula One has got to. That is where Formula One has got to in recent weeks. Everything matters now. The stops, there is no gap of luxury for Red Bull and Max Verstappen.
Okay, that's 19 laps remaining. 19 laps. Lando 1.7.
And Norris does the fastest lap of the race, trying to get inside that magical 1 second window. Game on at the front of the field.
Lando has DRS behind and gap 0.8.
And he's there. He's within a second. He'll get DRS on the exit of this corner as well. Suddenly, out of nowhere, we've got a race on our hands, and Norris has got to stay within DRS, apply the pressure, and there's loads of traffic for them to pass as well.
3 DRS zones around this racetrack. Here's the next one. He'll get one to turn 4 as well. This is where he got past in the sprint yesterday. Lando Norris, is he brave immediately again? This time Verstappen covers it off. Does that leave him vulnerable? They both make the corner, but they were deep. And Verstappen, that time, surely on the basis of what Lando did yesterday, had to cover the line.
Yeah, he reacted to my move. You're not allowed to do that.
Okay, we're on it.
He saw me move, then he moved.
We're
That's not
reporting
allowed.
to the race director. He saw you move and then moved.
Yeah, but Lando's got to get on with it. I don't think Max is going to get a penalty for that.
It's like there's something wrong with the car, man. No grip.
Mid-6, if you'd prefer. Mid-6.
No.
That's GP, the race engineer. Can he shape for another move? Max Verstappen is checking the left mirror. Is it late again? Is it great again for Lando Norris, who tries to slow it down, but he overtook him off the road? What a late lunge it was, but he'll have to give that place back, and he knows it. How can he give the place back in a way that doesn't disadvantage him? He's the new race leader, but he did it off the racetrack. It won't count.
Yeah, we took outside the track.
You already had a black and white flag, Max.
Yeah, that's my second penalty then. It's super clear.
Just head down, mate. Head down.
Yeah, no, I know, but come on.
Norris not mucking around trying to hold on to that one.
He can't keep moving after I've moved. It's just dangerous. Oh, we're going to have a big shot.
Understood, mate. He keeps forcing it off. It was the right thing to do to give the position back. Let's get it again.
Stand by for a change of lead. Well, only if Lando Norris can get to the apex first. Not this time. Waits for the opportunity. Knew the gap was going to disappear. But now, traction race. Is there an opportunity? Turn 3 is your best bet. Turn 4 is risk it all. Trying to get by. Can he get to the inside? That's what you need there. Not this time.
Oh, Jesus.
We have seen battles for the lead decided late on here between Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. They did so in spectacular fashion in 2019. It went to the last lap in 2016 between the Mercedes pair. And now on lap 63, Lando Norris slows it down. That one will count if he can stand on the power.
Yeah, he has to give the position back. I was ahead at the apex.
Yep, and he went off track.
And Lando's right. That was a fair move. It was deep, it was aggressive, he was locked up, but he made the corner, and Verstappen kept the place by going wide. Max has to give that back.
He forced me off again.
It's not clever, is it?
He's just dive bombing, like, that's not how you overtake.
If Verstappen won't give the place up, and he doesn't look like he's going to, and Norris has gone beyond track limits, it's 5-second penalties, neutralised, and game on at the front of the field. Game on once again. This time it's the outside line. Oh, they make contact. He's got a puncture. He's damaged his front wing. The leading contenders for the World Championship come together at turn 3. The crowd can't believe it.
Yeah, the car's...
So no, it's just a puncture. Box this lap, box this lap.
Nice. Oh my god.
Okay, box, Max. Box. Got rear left puncture. Box.
Let's have a look then. Norris goes to the outside, and then Verstappen's just moving back. Lando held his ground, and the new McLaren front wing puncturing the rear left of Verstappen. But where did Lando pick up? Was it? So there's the first contact. The
Rear to rear tyre.
and it's actually gone immediately. Actually, the left rear of Verstappen immediately popped.
We're reviewing the moment that took the top 2 contenders in the World Championship out of the top 2.
punctures for both. By the way, Norris has got a 5-second penalty. Forget that, that's irrelevant right now. Verstappen comes in.
It's too much damage, okay? It's better retire now. Let's not waste mileage. If you can't get points, there's no point doing it.
Okay, turn it off, please, turn it off.
Lando Norris was dreaming of a second Grand Prix victory. He is out of the race, having made contact with Max Verstappen. There was just too much battling. Verstappen, with that penalty, will come home in 5th. It will stay 5th.
Max, heads up, you were given a 10-second penalty for that incident with Lando, just in case you were quiz about that after the race.
Of course, yeah, sure. That's just ridiculous. You can just send it left and right. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, he didn't behave correctly there, Max. So, yeah, we're desperately unlucky, especially here, but you did your very best.
Yeah, I mean, the race itself was also just, to be honest.
It's not for me to say, it's for him to say something. I did nothing wrong, he was the one in the wrong, so he's the one that should say something, not me.
It's of course unfortunate, it's stuff that you don't want to see happening. It's as simple as that. It was a bit of a, I would say, an awkward angle that we touched. It's something that, yeah, it's very weird, and also for both of us to get a puncture with it was, yeah, really bad. But we also did so many things wrong throughout the race that we put ourselves, you know, in a position like that. So those are also things that we have to look at to improve.
Lando Norris going through on the brakes on Can. Verstappen hang on to it. He keeps his foot in. They both go off the road.
If it goes ahead on the defects, let me know if you think otherwise.
He needs to give it back.
This is more than just the numbers. This is momentum. This is winning a psychological battle that would be so important to him. The top 2 drivers in the Formula 1 World Championship are Max Verstappen, the leader by 54 points, and Lando Norris, trying to overturn the largest points deficit in the entire history of the World Championship, started in 1950. That is where we are starting the Grand Prix today. Verstappen went very, very defensive yesterday, maybe overly defensive into turn number 1. If it's in his head to stop it happening, it will definitely be in his head to lunge to the apex. And the US Grand Prix is underway. Max Verstappen's going to give himself an opportunity into turn number 1, but Lando Norris is chopping across. There's the late lunge that Max Verstappen was looking for, but he sends Lando Norris wide, and through goes the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. First and second battling each other, and they open the door for the driver in the Scarlet car. He roars through, up 3 places to take the lead of this one. Lando Norris got a decent launch, but we wondered whether Max Verstappen was going to make that lunge. Come what may, here was the answer.
I mean, you never really have to wonder with Max, do you? He's going for it, but it was that strong start from Leclerc that got him on the inside of Carlos going into turn 1.
And Lando, we reported the incident in turn 1. Any thoughts from your side?
Yeah, I mean, he's clearly pushed me out. He had no intent to make the corner. Even he ran off the track, so I just had to avoid crashing into him, or him crashing into me, but yeah,
I think it's pretty much what we expected prior to the race.
Yeah, the thing is, he overtook me by going in so hard that he went off the track, same as Budapest. Just identical.
There is a tyre offset for Lando Norris, but he will not gain track position over Max Verstappen. That 2.2 second stop is exactly what he needed, though. Everything is vital at this stage as Verstappen goes back past his rival for the title. They're 4th and 5th at the moment.
Info. Russell's still out on his hard time, which he started with. Lap 32, he managed at 39.5, so it looks good. Last lap, Leclerc 39.0, Carlos 38.7, Lando behind 38.6.
Now these tires is not good. I can't brake, I can't attack anything.
And I know Max is complaining a lot about the tyre. When we catch him, which we will, we just want to make sure we've got tyre to be able to attack him. Just be careful on the exit, look after the rears.
Main deficits on the last lap match were turns 1, 8, 1, 8, 15 and 20.
Just early push and hold.
That's 0.5. Cancel the clip if you want to.
Lando Norris has a big opportunity here. He's currently losing points to Max Verstappen in the championship, looking to change all of that. The top two contenders for the championship of the world onto the back straight at Kota, looking for the move. The British driver trying to go past. How defensive will Max Verstappen go? How defensive can Max Verstappen go as we go into the braking zone of turn number 2? Norris trying to go around the outside. Is the room? Look now, not from turn 12, but to turn 15. Is there a moment for the McLaren to use the traction? Trying the long way round, there will be no route through, but the up and under might produce itself. This is going to be so fast, side by side at speed. Verstappen's just got enough for the moment. Norris not able to force Verstappen off the racing line. He's still ahead, and this battle continues.
Okay, 0.55. Last lap it was 4.5.
How close can the McLaren man get on the brakes when it matters? When the World Championship is up for grabs here, is there an opportunity this time? No. Is there a chance to force him off the racing line? Slightly deep for Verstappen, a little bit more speed through that corner for Lando Norris, but another opportunity goes by. Can he dive to the inside to try and get that opportunistic move at 15? Not that time. Good lap for Max Verstappen. And every lap he can make Norris run in the dirty air will be damaging his tyres.
And 0.3.
Norris goes again.
Lining him up again. He is oh so close. Big defensive move from Verstappen into 1. Is this going to allow Norris to get the drive off? Very hard to get it done into 3, lighting up the rear tires, leaving some skid marks.
It's on the edge. We aren't into the full brinkmanship yet.
0.4.
Another chance. It's lap 50 of 56. We head to turn number 1. Lando Norris was thinking about that move to the inside, and he ducked back in. They both go past the Sauber.
Push and hold still available.
He hasn't won a race since the Spanish Grand Prix, but he's got a title advantage of 54 points over Lando Norris. He's trying to extend it further by 3 points, and this is more than just the numbers. This is momentum. This is winning a psychological battle that would be so important to him. The momentum of the McLaren has been interrupted. Is there a second wind for Lando Norris to force his way by?
And 0.4.
Everything's still available.
Here we go. This is it for Lando Norris. It's a wide line that gives initial momentum for Max Verstappen, but he is gaining and gaining and gaining. How brave can he be in the braking zone of turn 12? This is the best opportunity he's had since lap number 1 to take the place. He puts the car on the outside line, tries to duck back through. It's not done yet. Verstappen knew it, held on to the inside line, and now off the racing line that he wants to be. There's an opportunity. The two contenders again, separated by hardly anything. Traction race could favour the McLaren. Still, it's side by side or very close to it, but still, it's Verstappen ahead with 5 laps to go in the US Grand Prix.
0.4. And 5 laps remaining.
10 out of 10 on execution. He's not made a mistake, not one wheel wrong to give Lando the opportunity to make that move. Lando doing everything he can, but Max doing everything he needs to. Does Lando have a shot here into 1? Defense for Max, blocking a little bit.
Big defense from Max Verstappen, and he knows that he's having to use more of the tyre than he wants to, more of the road than he wants to.
And 0.4.
Norris is close once again.
Closer by a long shot. That was a great run off of 11. It's so tempting as a driver to get to the throttle too soon, light up the rear tires, but he's got it now.
Max Verstappen on the defensive, Lando Norris on the attack, Lando Norris going through on the brakes, or can Verstappen hang on to it? He keeps his foot in, they both go off the road. Norris moves ahead for the first time since lap number 1, but he did so with all 4 wheels off the road. That one surely will not count. He will surely have to give the place back.
Is the argument that Max forced him off the road though?
Took me outside the track. He needs to give me back.
Very matter of fact from Verstappen. I'm sure Lando's going to say, hey, he forced me off the track. We've seen both of those called already. It'll be interesting to see which way the FIA looks at this and the stewards want to address it.
I can't imagine McLaren will let the risk of a penalty hang over Lando Norris's head.
That goes ahead at the Apex. Let me know if you think otherwise.
We think you were ahead at Apex.
McLaren are going to risk the penalty. They're still attacking each other. McLaren are risking a 5-second penalty. They've elected to keep track position. Every single time we've seen a driver off the road like that, all the way through this Grand Prix, and this weekend it's resulted in a drop, but Norris gets by.
We are on it, Max. We know. And we've also seen the moving under braking at 1.
So our opinion is you were ahead at Apex, both cars went off track.
Yeah, he also went off, so it was clear.
And Lando, so we've had our third strike track limits, which I know you'll know, so no more track limits, no more.
Did Lando Norris get ahead on the braking zone? Was he forced off the road?
No and yes. He was definitely not ahead at the apex, but I mean, with where Max's car was, he had really no chance but to go wide. Whether or not it's worth just taking that risk, this is tense with 3 laps to go. If that judgment comes from the stewards, that's going to be devastating for Lando.
Lando Norris had an opportunity. The stewards have told us Norris and Verstappen have been noted.
The stewards are looking at it, Max.
Yes, behind me.
So Piastri at 3 seconds. 3 qualifying laps, please, Max, for a pin. 3 qualifying laps.
McLaren did not tell their driver to give the place back. It is lap 55 of 56. It's a Ferrari 1-2. Norris has track position, but investigations hovering over his head. Verstappen is in 4th, but will expect a penalty for his title rival ahead.
Okay, that's fully open, Max. Keep pushing, Max.
Lando Norris has a penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. He is 3.3 seconds ahead of Verstappen. It will not be enough. It was all about Max with the sprint. Lando took the pole. Lando's got a penalty.
So gap to Norris 3.8. He has been given a 5-second penalty. Keep pushing. It's 4 seconds.
3rd on the road, but with a penalty applied, it will be 4th position for Lando Norris. Max Verstappen takes points out of his title rival. The swing goes the other way. Verstappen stays ahead on the timing page. Norris pushed for all he's worth. He missed out by 9/10 of a second.
Great job. Drove like a lion, and you got a podium. Well done, mate.
Hey man, I have no front. This is no good.
Well done, mate. You drove hard for that. You drove hard for that. We weren't as competitive as we should have been in the second stint, but you deserve that podium today.
My God, that was a hard race.
You drove like a lion. Nice job.
Yeah, I tried everything with the defending. At least that was fun. It's just a bit weird that you can overtake outside the track.
Well, you can't. The FIA put that wrong, so there you go.
That's all right. Points-wise this weekend, Max. You've done what you needed to do.
I guess I got a 5-second penalty.
Yeah, they gave you 5 seconds just at the end there for leaving the track, gaining an advantage. Not sure why.
Oh yeah, well then I should have just gone back behind him, shouldn't I?
And the question that hung in the air was, would there be a penalty? There was. And the question then evolves into, why did McLaren take that risk?
That's just it. I mean, the camera angle that we saw, it was pretty clear Max was ahead, and as you mentioned, any car that had done that so far in this Grand Prix had received the penalty.
Clearly I didn't give the position back because we thought we were in the right. Clearly we weren't. I still think we were, considering Max went off the track. Normally if you defend your position and you go off the track, you have to give the position up. In that case, I was ahead. I kept my position because he needed to give it back, and that's the way it is. So I think I did the correct thing, but I don't make the rules. Max drove well. It was a fun race between us, good battle, and yeah, he defended well. He did everything he had to do. So we struggled as a team. I didn't do a great job, and yeah, both are not what we need right now. So we'll both try better next time.
I think overall, yeah, it was quite a tough race. I didn't expect it to be that tough, but yeah, we just struggled a bit more on the tires. Yeah, just couldn't really attack compared to yesterday, and yeah, we were just lacking a bit of pace. But I think overall we just did the best we could. We managed it till the end. Some good battles with Lando out there, you know, hard battles but fair, and it definitely was a lot of fun.
How significant is it for you to be making sure you're just, generally speaking, always finishing in front of Lando?
Well, that was definitely a positive weekend, of course, but still quite a few points that we need to collect. But yeah, of course, very happy to at least extend it now for once compared to the last few weekends.
It was a great battle between the top two in the World Championship, but it was resolved in Max Verstappen's favour. 354 points to his name, extending that advantage over Lando Norris. He's on 297. Max Verstappen barges his rival off the road.
I was ahead the whole way through the corner. This guy is dangerous.
Verstappen throwing it to the inside. They're both off. Extraordinary. It's a 10-second penalty.
And how about him then? For
Norris versus Verstappen getting really brutal again. From the heart of Mexico City, this is Formula One. It's the 20th round of the World Championship in 2024. Our venue is intense, vibrant, and named for the Rodriguez brothers, two Mexican heroes of the 1960s. This is their arena.
I've been reviewed. I've probably approached things in a pretty similar way, but slight tweaks here and there. Of course, didn't come out on top in the whole battle, so things always improve, and I think Max is probably the best, and I'll probably say quite confidently, is the best in the world in this style of defense and attacking and those kind of things. So I'm going up against the best in the world, and therefore I got to be at his level. At the minute, I would say I'm not quite at the level I need to be at, and his level, which is a shame to say, but it's probably the truth. And at the same time, it's an experience for me to learn and progress and try and do better.
I don't understand why then suddenly now we need to ask and scream for changes in the regulation, you know, when it's been like that forever. I mean, I grew up go-karting, F3, F1, you know that you cannot pass outside of the white line. It's as simple as that.
It's still a good battle. I still really enjoyed everything that we did last weekend. It was still, yeah, a tough, exciting battle that we had on track. But of course, I want to be the one that comes out on top. I believe I rightfully was, but obviously the penalty in the end changed things around. So things will change a little bit. I'll, of course, change my approach in a slight manner, but I don't need to change everything.
It's Ferrari versus Red Bull versus McLaren.
That sounds like the recipe for a great Grand Prix. 3 different constructors starting at the front. The Drivers' Championship is still being spoken about, but if we're going to keep talking about that next week in Brazil, Lando Norris has to put some points into Max Verstappen today. They start 3rd and 2nd. Ferrari's sandwiching them. Sainz on pole, Leclerc 4th.
Carlos Sainz is waiting for that green flag at the back of the field. The battle towards turn 1 begins right now. We leave the line for the Mexican Grand Prix, and it's a good reaction time for Max Verstappen. He's got the inside line, he's got the momentum, he's surely going to get the lead. And now Lando Norris is going to try and power past Carlos Sainz as well. Verstappen has the inside line and the opportunity. How brave will Carlos Sainz be? An immediate spin into the barriers for the V-carb. Off the road goes Carlos Sainz to maintain the lead, and that will be an immediate intervention. It was hard into the Armco. It was a big moment into the barriers for Yuki Tsunoda. He was the driver involved there, and Carlos Sainz feels the need to give the place back to Max Verstappen, having jumped over the road. But it's Verstappen, then Sainz, then Norris, Leclerc. Hamilton got past Russell.
Fastest lap for Sainz, who's responded then. He's really close.
Is he going to go for the late braking move? He is! That's the lead for Carlos Sainz, and he leaves turn 2 with the lead. Can he keep it by 3? Max Verstappen trying to apply the power. There will be another DRS zone, which will take the Ferrari further away. First opportunity offered up for Carlos Sainz, and he took it with both hands.
Superb driving from Sainz. I said the Ferrari top speed was good, and I think he caught Max Verstappen just unawares. Verstappen had a good lead, so he was 8/10 clear over the line. But Sainz, with the DRS for the first time, the long slipstream and a good top speed, got close, and he's a great driver at that late lunge on the inside. Made it stick.
Lando Norris, can he do what Sainz did before? Has the hint, has the look, no way by. Verstappen not happy that he didn't have the full deployment of the Red Bull when he needed it, and Sainz took that chance.
Verstappen's close out of turn 3. Norris is really close behind Max as well. Just so impressed with Sainz's ability on the brakes. Can Norris do the same?
This is brave from Lando Norris, trying to go around the outside. Max Verstappen barges his rival off the road, and the contentious debate of position between the top 2 drivers in the World Championship continues. continues from Austin to Mexico City. They collide this time. Verstappen throwing it to the inside. They're both off. Extraordinary. Elbows out, brawling between the two of them. And Charles Leclerc takes advantage to go up to second position. How about that? Norris versus Verstappen getting really brutal again.
I was ahead the whole way through the corner.
Understood. We're looking at it now.
This guy is dangerous. I just have to avoid a crash. It's the same as last time, mate.
Yeah, we're on it, mate.
I'll end up in a wall in a minute.
We understand, Lando. Two separate incidents where push stop twice. Hamilton will have DRS behind.
Yep, he overtook off the track and pushed me off.
Yep, just strap 10, strap 10.
Let's go through it again. Lando Norris going to the outside, moving ahead. Who's ahead at the apex?
It's really tight. Norris is ahead coming into the corner, but Max is good at having the shorter line and releasing the brake at the moment, so they are neck and neck. But let's have a look once again at this part, because now we're on the short burst up towards turn 7. Honestly, that's a bit of a crazy one. To send in a lunge on that corner with no hope of making the exit, it's a hopeless lunge, and it's not fair racing from Verstappen.
It's a 10-second time penalty for Max Verstappen for forcing another driver off the track.
So Max, for info, you've been given a 10-second penalty for forcing Lando off track at turn 4. So head down.
10. It's quite impressive.
Another 10-second time penalty for Max Verstappen for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. Verstappen with a combined penalty count now at 20 seconds that he'll have to serve at his first stop.
You can't argue with those penalties, particularly the second one. But it doesn't help Norris out at this stage. Norris has still lost the place that he was in second and trying to get to the front by 2 illegal moves from Verstappen. That allowed Leclerc through, and Max will take 20 seconds of penalty. It's going to really jeopardise him, and he's going to be on a recovery drive a little bit like his teammate at the moment. 20 seconds for Max right now would drop him just ahead of Perez, but he'll keep going and going and going and making sure that Norris cannot be released into clear air to go and attack the 2 Ferraris.
So Max, update. You've been given another 10-second time penalty. That's for leaving this track and gaining an advantage at turn 8.
So, and how about him then? Turn 4? That's fine then? Or that's silly, man?
Verstappen in for what will be a long, long stop.
They cannot touch the car until 20 seconds have elapsed. We've seen mechanics go too earlier this year, and then you have to reserve the penalty, so very, very important. They're being ultra cautious there. This is a long, long wait. Someone will be counting to 20, and then the signal will be given to the crew. There it is. And Verstappen serving 2 penalties, 1 for wheel banging at turn 4, 1 for going off the track and gaining an advantage at turn number 8. 71 laps, packed with action in Formula One. Wheel-to-wheel battles, penalties, pass and repass. Drama in the constructors, drama in the drivers. And out front, ahead of it all, above the rest of them, a man who for the first time in his Formula One career is going to win multiple races in a single season. It will be only his 4th win in Formula One. He said pole yesterday was bittersweet because it gave him the feeling that Ferrari might be in a fight for a world championship and he won't be there to use it. That realization ignited a fire today. He knows the road back to the front might be long and windy with Williams, but listen to this. The sight and the sound of this crowd acclaiming their winner. Carlos Sainz comes out of the final corner for the final time. Carlos Sainz wins the Mexico City Grand Prix. A fine way to take a 4th career victory. It will be a 10-point swing in the Drivers' World Championship after Lando Norris finishes in 2nd.
P2, what a mate. Thank you. Follow the dash, please. Follow the dash.
Yeah, couldn't have asked for a lot more. It was a good race, just yeah, interesting one. Well done, good points everyone. Thank you.
We'll have a look at that, particularly that second stint.
Well, I mean, the medium as well, we had some pace. Really shocking.
Yeah, frustrating race today, Max, but you gave it everything, and I thought the penalties were definitely on the harsher side.
It's not very often we see 2 10-second penalties handed out in such quick succession. Just what's your view on those two?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter because the penalties are given. So that's also honestly not my biggest problem of the race. My biggest problem was that we just had no pace. Yeah, just struggling a lot on the tires. Yeah, couldn't really attack and I couldn't follow Ferrari and McLaren.
You know, I always go into the races and I expect good battles and fair battles, and of course, you know, I expect a tough battle with Max. I don't want to complain about it, you know, because I really, this is what I love. I love going into races and knowing like we're going to have a good battle today and he's going to put up a good fight and all of those things. And I look forward to it, but things like today are just a bit too far, in my opinion, and obviously in the stewards' opinions too. And I would say probably the majority of people's opinions.
And on those moves and those penalties, will you do anything different next time around then, given they've been penalised?
Maybe get a drink in the pit stop. Yeah, I mean the engine was off for 20 seconds, so I had enough time.
I respect Max a lot. I want to race hard against him, but yeah, if I didn't do what I did today and avoid him, I'd probably be out of the race, you know. So it's tough, but I played my cards well. I knew what to expect in many ways, and yeah, points are good for me at the minute, and we'll just keep our heads down.
Great stuff. Thanks, Lando.
Well, sometimes in Formula One, the most complex of sports, it can be about so much. 4 Grand Prix remain, 2 sprint races, and this 2024 season will not relent. Action all the way from lights out to the waving of the checkered flag. The red flag is out with 46 seconds on the clock. Verstappen out in Q2. Here we go with Max Verstappen in another league right now. Max Verstappen finds himself taking the lead as Lando Norris has gone off the road. 17th on the grid to the win. A return to victory when it mattered most. Welcome to Sprint Saturday in Sao Paulo. Max Verstappen in 4th place and a front row lockout for McLaren. We're underway and sprinting to turn number 1. Oscar Piastri gets the launch he needs. Can Max Verstappen put any pressure on Lando Norris? Not at this stage. McLaren 1-2 as we drop down the centre S's. Piastri with the advantage. Charles Leclerc hanging on to 3rd place. The top 4 in the order that they left the grid.
Yeah, that's close.
Okay, understood.
That very much sounds like a signal to me.
And Lando, we understand just keep an eye on Leclerc behind.
Yeah, but I'm not sure what I'm doing here, mate. I thought we spoke about this one.
Well, McLaren have been under the microscope this year for how they have orchestrated having 2 brilliant drivers who have pushed each other wonderfully all year long. What a luxury problem to have when you've got a rapid Australian, a brilliant Brit. The problem is that Charles Leclerc is coming, and he's not the only one. He's bringing Max Verstappen with him, new fastest lap of the race. If McLaren are going to do the swap, and it feels like they are because they've got code words built into the radio communication, the time is sooner rather than later as Verstappen goes again, looking for 3rd.
And Lando, understood. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, they've understood his feedback, but if there was a conversation about switching positions to favour the driver who's the lead driver in the World Championship, falling out DRS range is not ideal. Charles Leclerc is in DRS range.
Give Lando DRS.
Direct instruction issued to our race leader.
With the gap to Leclerc at the moment, we're happy, if we can, to hold these positions until the last lap.
Yeah, but I will overtake.
It is still just a little bit risky because all it takes is one slight misstep from Norris, virtual safety. There's so many things that can go wrong. If you've got the opportunity to do it, just do it.
That is the Haas stopping. And where has he stopped? Because it could be an intervention from a virtual safety car or a full safety car. Hülkenberg has come to a halt outside of turn number 10.
Oscar, if possible, swap position with Lando.
McLaren will rue swapping, and they will not take that risk. Immediately, McLaren give the call to Oscar Piastri to prioritise the highest McLaren driver in the Drivers' World Championship. It's a 1-2 with Lando Norris at the front of the field. The crowd will cheer him home. For the first time in Formula One, Lando Norris wins a sprint race. He takes the checkered flag to make it a McLaren 1-2.
We worked well as a team together, so I thank Oscar. No, but we've done a great job as a team. Today was the result that we wanted. Oscar deserved it, but yeah, we're doing what we have to do. So I thank him and the team, and we had great pace. So looking forward to qualifying and the race tomorrow.
We have qualifying and the Grand Prix on the same day. It's Super Sunday. Max Verstappen will be looking over his shoulder. He's in the drop zone now, thanks to that effort from Charles Leclerc, who goes up to third.
Oh, there's a crash.
Max Verstappen needs a lap. The pendulum swung the other way. The red flag is out. The red flag is out with 46 seconds on the clock. This could be the moment that changes the World Championship. No one would have predicted Verstappen out in Q2. But my word, that is what we have.
What about the race? What are your chances from where you'll be
far in
starting?
the back, so it will be quite difficult to pass around here with all the spray and the amount of rain, but we'll have a look.
This is Brazil, and it's time for the next chapter of this relentless World Championship run. The Sao Paulo Grand Prix is underway. And through the spray, having a go at Lewis Hamilton, fighting his way through and taking 10th place. The man on the charge, the championship leader on the attack. Max Verstappen up to P10. Max Verstappen looking to make another move up against Pierre Gasly, and Verstappen comfortably takes 9th position. Max Verstappen getting past Fernando Alonso.
Good job, Max.
Here we go with Max Verstappen in another league right now. Wasn't even a contest. The man showing us why he's a 3-time world champion. Piastri would have offered a defense if he thought he could, but Verstappen roars by. He's going past all of them.
It's a lot of water, but just try a lap.
Stay up. Recharge off. Just be very careful, please, Max. Very careful.
Russell and Norris didn't feel they could take this car any further on the tyres that they had, and now Ocon and Verstappen are desperate for a safety car or a red flag. And the safety car is finally deployed to neutralise the race. Ocon leaving it late, but Ocon leaving the field behind. They're very tightly bunched up in the background. There's a big opportunity for Charles Leclerc. There's a big opportunity for George Russell, but a better one for Max Verstappen, who finds himself taking the lead as Lando Norris has gone off the road. The championship pendulum swings in one corner as Verstappen goes from 17th on the grid to the lead in Brazil.
Let's take another look at this move. Again, he wasn't even sizing him up on the entry. His braking point was just so much later, so much less pressure, able to just get the move done. You see a little squiggle there from the Ferrari. Norris coming back on track just behind his teammate.
In the Brazilian rain, the Dutchman has delivered a defining drive. He climbs the hill back to Grand Prix victory, up through the gears to a huge moment in the Drivers' World Championship. The world champion strikes back. Max Verstappen wins the Sao Paulo Grand Prix in 2024. 17th on the grid to the win. A return to victory when it mattered most.
It's been a long time coming, mate, but boy, was that worth the wait. You are the man.
Oh, yes! What an unbelievable race, guys. You know what that is? Simply lovely. I tell you that. Never give up.
That is right up there with one of the greatest performances he has had in his illustrious career. He is now staring at a 4th World Championship.
We're just, having a really good feeling in the car, and we made all the right calls again, stayed calm and executed when we needed to, so incredibly happy with today. I mean, honestly crazy. I never expected to go from P17 to P1. I was hoping for good points, but this is absolutely crazy.
Max Verstappen left them all behind. A defining win for the World Championship that leaves him with a 62-point lead. His first Grand Prix victory since back in June, and it was worth the wait.